Device here is my saltwater seal shrimp pattern in grey. You can tie it in other colours. So I suppose things to note is just that the legs. Find it really effective using these legs, and it's made from a strip of seal zonker, which is effectively palmered. This stuff is palmered down the shank, and then any fibers that are on the top or the sides trimmed off, and the back is coated with UV resin. Just a translucency of the seal, palmered seal, and just the right amount of stiffness for the legs just makes it truly awesome saltwater pattern. So really one worth taking the time to tie. It's a great pattern for sea bass, but I have a feeling for those guys who are tying shrimp patterns for the Baltic sea trout and that this style might be well worth a go if someone isn't already doing it. But I haven't seen any flies tied with palmered seal strip like this one before. NS122 light stinger in a 6 for this. It's a good size for the fishing that I do here in Ireland and guiding for sea bass. I'm going to just use some classic wax trio thread. It's up to you what thread you normally like to use, but go for grey or white. I'll just have some white handy here. I'm going to start here. Just leave the last third of the hook shank behind the eye. Again, maybe it doesn't make a huge difference, but just supposed to keep the idea of keeping a taper in the body in mind. So I'm just going to bring the thread up here to the bend of the hook. I'm going to start with the sort of feelers and antennae part of the fly. So I'm going to get this one just going to get a grey craft fur, and I'm just going to cut a piece out. I'm just going to tease out, if you like, the butt pieces, and just going to mess about with those a little bit here until I get just a nice short tuft. I'm going to tie these in first. It's going to help with the taper, but also what I want to do is I want to support the longer fibers so that they don't tilt down too much. Just going to catch that in there. A couple of tight turns, try and keep it on top of the hook. And it's going to go back a bit and forward now. I'm going to trim this back here at an angle because again I'm conscious of the taper of the shrimp, so that should be okay. Not too worried about those bits that you can see because we'll be dubbing over that, so it won't make too much of a difference to us. I'm just going to catch the rest of the craft for. Again, I'm just trying to get a nice taper on it. There's some long fibers, not too much. So I'm going to slit that in on top. So hopefully the idea is, as I say, that it will be supported by the piece underneath. Like so. A couple of turns down a little bit further this time. Stop about there and trim that off. A few loose bits, I just tidy them up. Come back up the hook. Okay, now look, that's adequate for a tail of a grey saltwater shrimp if you really wanted to. I'm going to add in just one or two things. I'm going to add a little bit of flash to this part of the fly, so angel hair, something like that will be fine. I just want a couple of strands just to add just a little bit of flash to the fly. So I'm tying them in slightly to the side on top, a couple of turns, and I'm going to pull them in slightly to the side on top on the opposite side, which is your side. Just going to trim the last few bits just to add a tiny bit of a silver grey flash. Next I'm just going to add 2 strands of pearl flashaboo accent. So I'll just use a long strand and double it around the thread. Don't catch it too tight or it won't keep its ripple effect. I want these fairly long towards the length of the tail here. Catch them in, like so. That's about where I want to be. Next, I'm going to take a piece of grey mink strip. Okay, obviously this is tapered to one end. This is the tapered end, and I'm just going to peel back the skin. You got to wet your fingers for this, and this is going to come in on top here. Okay, it's just going to sit up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that. I'm just going to leave a little piece sticking up, and I'm going to trim that off like so. Just trim that off and then sit it on top. I'm just going to catch that in. Again, just keeping everything on top. And there you go. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to put in a little ball of dubbing just to keep the eyes separate. So this is a SLD Prism in a light grey. I'm just going to make a ball of this SLD Prism here, like so. And I'm just going to form as if I'm making a double loop. So for a minute, just catch it into the spring. I'm going to get my Velcro brush. I'm just going to tease out a little bit of that dubbing there. Okay, just keep that back in the spring again, like so. And this will all make sense to you in the end. Next, the eyes. So I'm going to catch in one on my side, just sticking back a little bit. Place them where you want them. Trim them off. And get the other one for your side. Tilt the vise a little bit. Like so. So just one each side. You can see the taper forming in the body. Come back as far as there. What I'm going to do then is going to add some more taper to the body. So come up, careful here. Okay. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to get a strip of seal. Okay, strip of seal. I'm just going to trim the last bit off. It's kind of gone off it anyway. And the skin is cut to a little taper, like so. I'm going to catch that strip of seal in here on top. Okay. I'm going to get some of my dubbing again. Same stuff. Might add a little bit of wax to my thread. I'm just going to dub on pretty thin amount. Very thin amount here. So, and you can get a little bit heavier up here, just to keep the taper in the flight, and then back down again. Like so. Just a tiny bit. You can leave a little space there for when you're tying off your seal. Okay, just going to give that a little touch around, like so. Try hammering it the opposite way on this one. This 1, 2, 3. I get 5 turns. Catch in my seal. Like so. To trim this off, it's just a strip of steel zonker in grey. Okay, looks like a mess. We're going to come in with our scissors here. I'm going to trim off all the top fibers and some from the side. Just watch your strand of thread there, like so. Trim this off on the sides. And just leave the legs. Okay, leave the legs. Then I'm going to get my strand of thread. I'm going to wax it. I'm going to get another bit of dubbing, like so. Need my hackle pliers. I'm going to go around here and through the legs. Like so. Trim any pieces that are in the way. Our Velcro brush. Dub down. Make sure you brush down the ways. Like so. And, sorry. So, get your UV resin. Just finish this first. Scissors. Get your UV resin. Spread out along the back. Your needle. like so. And get your torch, like so. If you want, you can add just a layer of tin. On the top. Like so.